On September 27th, Helene devastated western North Carolina. We lost power, water, cell, and internet. By October 7th, we had power, water, and some spotty cell connection, but no internet. On October 10th, I decided to move in with my sister out of state so I could resume working remotely. My sister proceeded to upgrade her AT&T U-verse over to the AT&T All-Fi Hub or AT&T AirNet. This provided a very fast broadband type connection without wires, since she lives very close to where their transmitting towers are located. Despite my very fast internet connection, my time here was limited. I needed to go back to North Carolina, but I needed a fast internet connection, which at this point was unavailable as Optimum was overwhelmed by the destruction to their system. So I needed an option, and that's where Starlink came in. To get a Starlink dish, you have to go to starlink.com, get a credit card, plug in your address, and tell them that you want to order yours. That will take you to a page where you can actually see what it might look like, and you have a choice of whether you're paying $120 for residential use or $0 if you happen to be in the hurricane relief zone. So we're going to go with the hurricane relief zone because that's where I live. Then we just plug in the rest of the information. Once you enter all your vitals and credit card information, they will give you a total price, and then you just place your order. Within seconds, you'll get a payment process confirmation so they don't waste any time taking your money. Expected delivery of the device is about 3 weeks. Be aware you have 30 days from activation to try Starlink. You'll receive your first monthly service bill upon activating your Starlink, or 30 days after shipment, whichever comes sooner. The standard kit includes the Starlink dish, kickstand, Wi-Fi router, cable, and power supply unit. I ordered it on October 17th. It arrived on the 25th. It's interesting to note that this box actually measures about 25 inches wide and 17 inches tall. The box has pull tabs on 3 sides. We get those out of the way. Lift off the cover. This is actually the receiver, the bottom side of it. And here's a stand for it. So we lift that up. It's plastic. It's fairly light, white. An advantage that this has is that in the wintertime, should it ice up, it actually heats up and melts away the ice. So this is in essence the entire receiving surface that you're going to need to make this work. And then for those of you who hate reading instructions, they drew pictures for you. All you need to do is take a photo of that with your smartphone, and that'll take you to the app that you'll need. And then you follow the simple instructions. Below that, we have some connecting cable. This is the actual router, which has, if I take this cover off, has 2 Ethernet points that you can connect into, so you can come out directly into your computer or whatever device you need to. But this is the Wi-Fi router. And then here we have a power brick and a power cable for that brick, and that's it. Here we're looking at the entire setup outside the cardboard box. As you see, there isn't a whole lot to this, but we're going to go through the entire installation process. Starting with the receiver, you're going to lift up the handle of the stand. You're going to grab the long connecting cable, and you'll notice 2 things about it. It has a gasket, so it's designed to be used outside. and there's a clip on one side and not the other. That clip is going to face up, and then you're just going to slide it in, and you'll hear a little snap when it catches in there. And now you can just lower that door. We grab the other end of the cable, we go to the router, and again, there's that tab that's on here. You want to make sure that's facing down. You're going to slide it into the opening that has a picture of a little dish on it. You push it all the way in, and you'll hear a little snap as it catches. And then we're set with that. The next thing you're going to plug in is the connector coming off the power supply, and that just fits into the round hole on the router. And again, this one pushes all the way in. And then the last thing that's left to do is to come to the power supply, which has this round opening, and that's where your power cord's going to plug in, and it doesn't matter which way. And again, it's a gasketed, although this power pack is not designed to be outdoors. And then you're going to plug this into an outlet. It's not polarized, so it can go in either way. But for right now, we're going to get the receiver outside and go with that setup. So with everything connected but the router not plugged in, you're going to go and launch the app on your smartphone. And you'll have a choice to check for obstructions, order now, or start setup. We're going to check for obstructions. Granted permission. Make sure to turn on your locator. Our kit is standard, so we select that and confirm it. We follow the instructions to find an open area and to scan the sky. In order to scan the sky, you literally point almost straight up and then just rotate in a circle. As you scan the sky, you'll see little dots dropping into your circle until it fills up to 100%. Once it gets to 100%, you can view the results. And this will give you an image of the obstructions that are in the way. So if you see mostly blue, you know you're good. It'll also give you a status of where you might get interruptions, whether it's with your web browsing, video streaming, video calls, or online gaming. If you see too many obstructions, relocate the receiver and try again. Once you're satisfied with the location, hit Setup Here. We are then presented with several mounting options that can be purchased, but we'll continue with the kickstand. Now you're instructed to connect all the cables and run power to Starlink. That means plugging in the router, and you should see a little light illuminate on the front panel of the router. Acknowledge that the Starlink is plugged in. You'll select Starlink from the settings. Confirm that. It's okay that you don't have internet at this point. The Starlink will be paired with the router. Continue. The system may boot up once or twice. Then it'll calculate the orientation. And this will take several minutes. Once Starlink is connected, you can either configure the Wi-Fi at this point, which means giving it a name and a password, or you can move down to alignment. And in alignment, you'll see a representation of the receiver, and it will tell you which way to turn it in order to correctly align it with the satellite. Once perfectly aligned, you'll get a rectangular box around the representation of the receiver, and you are set. At this point, you can now go and do a speed test. Here we came up with a download speed of 278. upload of 3.1. A little bit of disappointment there with the upload speed, but by moving the receiver to a different location, we were actually able to improve on that speed. Just moving it a few feet does make quite a bit of a difference. So you may want to experiment with different locations to see what brings in the best signal from Starlink. Of course, the challenge with any device that is outdoors is bringing that cable indoors all the way to the router. So you'll have to figure out if you're coming in through a soffit, you're drilling a hole through a windowsill or a wall, and that's it. There's nothing more to Starlink. At this point, we are ready to use any of our wireless devices, or if we decide, we can actually turn this back around and pull this cover here. And this gives me 2 Ethernet jacks that I can plug into. There's also a little round dot in the center, and that's a reset. So should things go really goofy on your installation, that'll reset the whole system for you. You can always reinsert this plug back in if you're not using the 2 ports, but you could plug in a computer or a laptop should you decide that you don't want to use the Wi-Fi. If you found this video interesting or useful, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, join the subscription team, and as always, thank you ever so much for watching.